¿Tú hablas español? When my boyfriend and I first got together, I didn't know any Spanish, besides what little Dora the Explorer taught me growing up. I had to learn hard and fast about a whole nother culture when my boyfriend and I got together. His mom is from Mexico, so she hardly ever speaks any English. This was a very difficult first impression because I had to rely on my boyfriend to interpret for us. Not exactly the first impression I was hoping to make on my boyfriend's mom, but it is what it is. I come from a very white, conservative family in the suburbs of Centralia, so growing up I never really had a reason to need to learn Spanish, but here was my reason. So I started taking Spanish classes, I started using the Duolingo app to learn what little bit I could, and it helped because now I can somewhat follow a conversation, I can at least understand what's going on. I'm definitely more confident listening to Spanish and knowing what's being said rather than speaking it, mostly because I don't want to embarrass myself from mispronouncing things because I can hardly pronounce English words, let alone a whole nother language that I'm not used to. Another great reason to have a more diverse friend group or significant other is that you're completely immersed in another culture. This includes food, music, and just seeing how other people interact. If you're only surrounded by people who are just like you, you will never grow as a person. Having the experiences of seeing how this other culture interacts with each other is completely different. It's more family oriented, everyone's together, and it's a lot louder. My family is more quiet, we listen to softer music. Every time we go to a family gathering on his side, it's always a big party. Everyone's got loud music going, everyone's got a drink in their hand, everyone's laughing and just having a great time. It's crazy how different the culture is. Plus there's the awesome food. My boyfriend's mom, for any event, will make tamales, and if you've never had a homemade tamale, then what are you doing with your life? And finally, another great reason to interact with other cultures is that it helps not only in your personal life, but also your professional life. Working at Subway, I get a lot of people who don't speak any English. Most of my coworkers will panic because they don't know how to make someone's sandwich when they can't express what it is they want. So a lot of times they'll call me over and I'm able to ask, okay, what kind of bread would you like? What kind of meat would you like? What kind of cheese, vegetables? Would you like it toasted? And all of the other things that go along with making a sandwich. Whenever I am able to communicate with people in their own language, their eyes light up. They're like, wow, this person actually took the time to learn another language, and it really helps make people feel more comfortable, both in their experience of getting a sandwich, and it also makes you more comfortable with your job. And in future jobs, you're able to put, yes, I have the ability to help people in their other language. So there are many benefits for me dating someone who has a culture other than mine. I get a great excuse to learn another language. I get the opportunity to be immersed in a culture other than my own, which helps me grow as a person as I'm able to interact with people. And then professionally, it opens the door for me to be able to communicate with more customers and make people feel more secure in their concept of me being able to do my job. I'm not saying you need to go out and date someone from a different culture, but just interact with the people around you. One of the great things about America is that it's a melting pot, and so there's people from other cultures right next door. You just have to go interact with them. And with that, I thank you.